Any advice you'd like to give realtors concerning mold remediation?
I think the most
What would be your best advice for someone who has a basement?
Sure. My best advice for somebody with a basement is to know their insurance coverage. If you don't know what type of coverage you have, reach out to your insurance agent. Make sure that you know, because there are riders on insurance policies that do have exclusions, or they may even have caps in coverage. So if you have a sump pump in your basement, or if you have a sewer drain backup, oftentimes you'll find that there's a $5,000 or a $10,000 rider or cap in coverage. Make sure you understand that if you have finished space in your basement and $5,000 coverage is not going to be enough for you. You should be looking at the value of what's in your basement, the space, if it's finished, if you have bar or if you have a theater, if you have any type of additional personal effects that are down there that are very valuable. Make sure you know your coverage, because you might find yourself in a situation someday where you don't have coverage for it, or you have some coverage and it's just not enough. I would just say that the last kind of final point is be very careful what you do when it comes to fire, water, or mold, specifically mold. Don't go out and Google mold, because what you're going to find is you're going to find a lot of websites and resources that are really meant to scare you, and they're not meant to educate you. Mold is not a scary thing. Mold has been around for thousands of years. Obviously, it's going to be here forever. And so when you find yourself in a position for mold, be very careful who you trust and who you put in your inner circle for education. Reach out to somebody like Andy Overy, because he knows his stuff very well. Here at Ross, we're happy to help you walk through this process. Whether we do any work for you or not, we can be a great resource for you. But be very careful with mold, because the number one thing that we see with mold is when it's Googled, a lot of bad information is read, it's absorbed, and then oftentimes it causes a lot of scare and fear, and then we end up making irrational decisions that might cost us time and money down the road.